Welcome everyone. Jim speaking here once again. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm currently just inside Manchester Piccadilly train station. It's the end of June, very early on a Saturday morning. I'm waiting for the rain to stop. This morning I think we'll go for a little walk. We'll go from Piccadilly train station and we'll walk up to Manchester Oxford Road down the length of Whitworth Street, and we'll just have a look at one or two things on the way. Hopefully the rain will let off enough that we can have a look around. So let's go. So we may as well make a start towards Manchester Oxford Road, as we are just looking into platform A, tram stop at Piccadilly, which is currently closed. There's a lot of maintenance going on London Road, so we'll have a look at that on the way. Not cold, it's just wet. I'm going to cross over when we can. So we're just looking back on the main train hall at Piccadilly. We're on London Road. There's the elevated section, which we're going to be following along down Whitworth Street. Here, back on London Road, a lot of track is being replaced just at the entrance and exit, so the tram stops. The traffic noise is killing me today, honestly. I thought if I came out early it wouldn't be so bad. No idea what's going on in town today, but at 7 o'clock it was like a football match. Anyhow, there's the exit on the Piccadilly tram stops. The tram's going towards Bury and Victoria. There's the entrance. The tram's going into Piccadilly. And of course, we are working today on a Saturday, which is very nice to see. I think the work is scheduled to be about 2 weeks. Anyhow, we're here, Whitworth Street, London Road, as we look up Piccadilly, or as the Americans might call it, Whitworth and London. They seem to miss out the streets and the avenues. Just going past Motel 1. I think it was one of the sites, the Northern Soul Club Twisted Wheel. I never had the pleasure, but I do remember the name. Yeah. I didn't think it would be raining this morning. So we're just going to be crossing Metrolink Street South. I'm going to get on the right hand side as we're walking towards Oxford Road just for now, because the first thing we're going to have a look at, if we can, is Sackville Street and Sackville Gardens. Here we go. There's I've just come over here. There's a lot of absolutely incredible buildings down Whitworth Street. You just simply This camera just simply can't justify how nice some of these buildings are. Crossing Charlton Street, I think. So we're just a minute now or two away from Sackville Gardens, where there's a very unique, one of a kind, and nice memorial to a gentleman, Alan Turing. A lot say he's the father of the modern computer. I think he was. It is thankfully a little bit quieter this morning. Of course, Alan Turing, I think he's on the back of a £50 note. Never had one. I'll leave some links below in the description if you'd like to read about Alan Turing and his inventions while he was here in Manchester, with the birth of the modern computer, and of course the code breaking that he did at Bletchley Park, top secret stuff during the Second World War. A lot of flowers left for him, always is, and so there should be. And here is some writing on a plaque. You can pause this, I guess, or click on a link below to read about him. Probably a very amazing gentleman. I wonder what he'd think of today's modern technology with Google and all this new AI stuff. I think had he still been around, he'd have probably invented it years ago. So Alan Turing, with a lot to be thankful and grateful for what he did for technology. And of course, there's one of the Manchester bees here. We're coming up to Sackville Street. I'm going to get back on Whitworth Street shortly. This is Sackville Gardens. On my right over there on the corner there's a rather nice cafe. Well, I don't think they'll appreciate it, I call it a cafe. Richmond Tea Rooms. I've had the pleasure of going in a couple of times for an odd breakfast. Not today, but it is nice. I'll check that one out. Well worth checking out. We're just heading to back onto Whitworth Street. I'll come round here one day and it'll be nice and quiet. I want to cross when I can because we need although we're staying on Whitworth Street going towards Manchester Oxford Road Station. Something else I want to look at before we head down Whitworth Street. That's us. And of course about 100 metres or so from where we're walking now, you can see the elevated train lines which come out from Piccadilly towards Manchester Oxford Road. So Whitworth Street follows a similar pattern, similar path, running parallel to the elevated brick structure. Amazing brick structure made out of tens of millions of bricks in the Victorian era. Absolutely astonishing, really. Most of the the rail in Manchester city centre is elevated, a little bit like Chicago. I think Chicago goes on steel. I think they call it the L. Anyhow, we're here. Granby, we're here. Granby Row, more fine Victorian buildings. Of course, when Manchester was an industrial powerhouse. And here, Vimto. Who doesn't like Vimto? Vimto Gardens. This is a proper Manchester staple. It's Vimto. I'll leave a link below in the description. Just behind, of course, is the elevated track between Manchester Piccadilly and Manchester Oxford Road that way. Of course, Vimto. Lovely drink. Even nice warm. And many tens of thousands of people will see this statue going by on the train and probably not even think twice about it. And maybe we should all drink a little bit more Vimto, less alcohol, and I'm sure the world would be a better place. Anyhow, moving on, we're heading back onto Whitworth Street, and I want to cross back over because there's something else I want to look at a little bit further down Whitworth Street before we make our way to Manchester Oxford Road. So I'm just going to go back up to the junction of Sackville Street and Whitworth Street, cross over and head towards Oxford Road on the right hand side. We'll see. Alright, let's press this and hope we get a green man soon because it is raining. So in front of us, Sackville Gardens, where we were before. It's a nice space in the city centre on a nice day, I guess. Good coffee. Okay, moving on. So on the left we've got, we're crossing Venice Street. Nice cast iron doors. I don't know where all the bikes are, what were in these racks. Maybe they've taken them away. It's not stopped raining yet. We're going to be crossing Princess Street rather shortly. Let's go over. Oof. Construction work everywhere as usual. I can't see it this morning. Now we're coming up to an interesting little street. So we're on Whitworth Street. This is Whitworth Street. And one of the few places in the UK where cast iron edging stones. I'm going to have a look on Google when I get back. See if I can find out any information about cast iron edging stones. I'll put a link below if I can. Lots of interesting buildings here and there. I'm coming up to where it'll be rather busy. On our right hand side on the corner, the Palace Theatre. But here, this red brick building, which is now a hotel, was the former home of Refuge Assurance. The only reason I think I remember this so well, this building, is because it's the first place I remember my dad working, coming down here quite often. Thousands of people worked here. Makes you wonder what happened to all them people. Now it's a hotel. So we're on Oxford Road now. Okay. So to our right it is Oxford Street towards Manchester Central Library. To our left it is Oxford Road. Once again there's the elevated tracks for the train. The old Refuge Assurance building, now Kimpton Hotel. And we are nearly here at our destination, Manchester Oxford Road station. Fantastic station this is. Spent some time here over the years. A lot of trains pass through Manchester Oxford Road, and a lot of terminating trains, I think mainly from Liverpool. Start here, and of course here we are. A little bit steep, but there you go, fantastic building. And with that, Manchester Oxford Road, as we just move around. Thanks for coming along today, and until next time, this vlog is over.